So Ayurveda in Australia. So namaskaram and good evening. Thank you to the Consulate in general for inviting me to celebrate this year's World Ayurveda Day. Hardin Hargar Ayurveda. Ayurveda everywhere and Ayurveda every day. This theme has inspired me to talk about Ayurveda and see what's available everywhere here in Australia and the importance of Ayurveda every day. Gratitude to my guru, Guruji Dr. L. Mahadevan from the Sri Savada Hospital in the Derisanakop in the Tamil Nadu. My whole career as an Ayurvedic physician would not be possible without his constant guidance and support. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo, Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ayurveda everywhere and Ayurveda everywhere, they would not be possible without gurus, without teachers, Dr. Subaji, Vaidyas, bishops sharing this sacred knowledge. I bow to Guruji and I bow to Lord Dhanvantaram, the god of Ayurveda. So Ayurveda every day, Ayurveda everywhere, Haridin Hagan Ayurveda. The topic inspired me to highlight the beautiful growth of Ayurveda in Australia, but also everywhere worldwide, and the blend of different cultures. Myself as a German national studying with Manipal University very much highlights this. And Dr. Vidu asked about what we love and the three things. I love my family, but I love India and I love Ayurveda. They are in my top three. So I always had a love for India, the culture and the richness in tradition. So after graduating with Manipal University, I finished my postgraduate training at Alvas College in Mudbidri in Karnataka. At that time, I had no idea how much Ayurveda would change my life and that I can witness that Ayurveda can change the life of so many. After I got married in Karnataka, I moved to Australia and I had so many doubts and was unsure how Ayurveda will be accepted here in Australia. So practicing Ayurveda here in Australia, it was amazing to see how many people are open to the system of healing of all different cultures and background. So here in Australia, not only here in Perth in Western Australia, nationwide Ayurveda is growing. And both organizations Dr. Vidu mentioned about the Australasian Association of Ayurveda, who regulates the Ayurvedic physician, but you can also become a member as a student, friend, or a professional member of this association. And the association is growing day by day with nearly 200 or 250 members in total. So for us, many of us here are expats. We need to know a little bit about the land, the desha, the habitat. So Western Australia, especially in summer, has the gunas of Ushna, Rukshna, Tikshna, which is heating, sharp and drying in nature. This is important to know. Charaka Samhita has explained the desha, the habitat, has a direct correlation with the food what grows here, the herbs and spices, but also with the doshas. Vata, Pitta and Kapha are affected by desha. So if you can see there's more Ushna, Tikshna and Ruksha. What disease could we see more here in Australia, especially in the hot summer? Has anyone got any idea?
Skin.
Absolutely. Skin disease, heat stroke, exhaustion, mental health, autoimmune disorders, migraine, allergies, especially Pitta condition during the hot summer condition. So according to Ayurveda, like increases like. So what we should be doing is follow dinacharya and lifestyle opposite to those gunas. Obviously many factors have to be considered. The season, prakriti, vikriti, but we should be having more food which is more warm, moist and cooked food. Less chili, less hot and spicy food. But if we look at the Australian diet, I'm sure not for everyone, but not everyone loves millet as much as we do. But processed meat, coffee, tea, alcohol, seafood, soft drinks, generally not sufficient vegetables and fresh fruits. Junk food, chips, cakes, chocolate, and ice cream. So what are we doing? We're going against Ayurveda. Ayurveda teaches us how to live our lives. Ayurveda every day. So Ayurveda should be in our lives daily. How to eat, what to eat, when to eat, and how to combine food. Ayurveda talks about Viruddha Ahara, incompatible food. If we eat incompatible food, that can give rise to a disease. For example, eating Madhura Rasa, sweet taste at the end of the meal. Do we do this here in Australia? Yes, often. Fruit is often taken with the main meal. Fish and milk and banana, eating honey, or having curd or yogurt at night time. So this is Apatyahara. We heard from many clinicians here, Patya Apatyahara is described by Charvak, by any authors, about each and every disease. What elevates the disease and what aggravates the disease. So if we don't follow the Ayurvedic rules and guidelines about healthy eating, we vitiate our Agni. There are 13 Agni, Chata Agni, Dhatu Agni. All of those Agnis can be vitiated and produce Ama. Ama is a toxic substance, toxins in the body. That Ama can move anywhere in the body where there's a weakness, called Kavaigunya. So it can lodge in the dhatus, the bodily tissues, or in the organs and produce a disease. A disease is called a Vyadi. Vyadi is something that produces pain to the body. And here in Australia, we see many Apatarpana Vyadi. These are diseases due to overnutrition. Dr. Sobachi talked about Prameha, diabetes. This is also due to overnutrition. So disease, what we see, Apatarpana Vyadi here in Australia, diabetes, obesity, high blood pressure, many skin conditions, back pain, digestive disorders, and many types of cancer. So what can we do? We can see an allopathic doctor, a Western doctor. We can see an Ayurvedic physician. I can recommend both. And the Ayurvedic doctor will look at Ahara, Vihara, and Aushadam. Diet, lifestyle, and medicine. We heard a few times, if you follow diet and lifestyle, medicine is of no need. If you only want to choose the medicine and don't follow the diet and lifestyle, your treatment most likely will not be successful. So the 3 pillars is very important. We heard the definition before by Shushruta, Svastasya, Svastya, Rakshanam, Aturasya, Vikara, Prashananam. Ayurveda can prevent disease, Ayurveda can cure disease, but prevention is better than curing disease. So it's our duty to implement Ayurveda daily in order to prevent disease and in order to cure disease. Ahara, Vihara, and Aushadam. So when you see an Ayurvedic physician, he or she will look if you're in a state of health, if you're in balance. So, but what is health according to Ayurveda? And again, we ask Shushruta Samhita, and he says, Sama dosha, Sama agnisha, Sama dhatu, Malakriyaha. Now my voice goes. Prasana Atma Indriya Manaha Svasta Iti Avidyate. So Shushruta says to be healthy, we need to have balanced doshas, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. We need to have a good digestive function, a good Agni, digestion and absorption of food. We need to have properly formed and well-nourished bodily tissues, our 7 dhatus. We also need to have proper elimination of our waste, the malas, sveda, mutra, purisha, urine, feces, and sweat. Alongside this, we need to have a blissful soul, senses, and a content mind, a sattvic mind. This is health according to Ayurveda. I would say, wow, Shushruta, he is really amazing. More comprehensive definition of health than the World Health Organization. So, but what does the Ayurvedic physician do? How can the Ayurvedic physician assess if you are healthy? There are many tools, but one of the tools is Asta Vida Pariksha, Nadi, Jiva, Mudra, Mala, Shabda, Sparsha, Drik, and Akriti. So the Ayurvedic physician will not ask you just a question and do a blood test. He will look at your pulse, Nadi Pariksha. He feels your pulse. He will ask you to pull the tongue out. He wants to see your tongue, urine, fecal matter, your voice. By touch, are you warm? Are you ushna? Are you shita? Are you hot or cold? Your eyes and your body structure. So then depending how little or severe your doshas are aggravated, the physician will make a treatment plan. For all of Ayurvedic physicians here, they will know Alpa dosha Langana, Madhyama dosha Shamana, Bahu dosha Shodhana. Bahu dosha, we heard with Dr. Shobachi, Bahu Dravats Leshma dosha Visesha. A Sanskrit shloka for Prameha. So there are Bahu, it's big, severe, aggravated doshas. We need to go, for example, Panchakarma treatment. Obviously, many factors have to be considered before doing Panchakarma treatment, such as the bodily strength and other factors. But in chronic lifestyle condition, especially the apatarpana, due to overnutrition, Panchakarma is suitable, and Panchakarma is available here in Australia, and it is available mostly everywhere worldwide. So Panchakarma, the 5 body purification treatments, Vamana, Virechana, Basti, Nasya, and Rakta Mokshana. We don't have time to talk. I would love to talk hours, and Panchakarma is a big passion of mine. But I would like to just with some visual slides show you through what Ayurvedic treatments could involve. For example, often we start with Rukshana. Rukshana is a drying treatment. This is often done with powder massages. As powder is dry, kapha is snigdha. So we treat with opposite qualities. So Rukshana is, or Udvartanam, great for kapha dosha. After Rukshana, so we're preparing the body for Snehapana, which is the herbal ghee intake. This is a purva karma, so that helps to loosen and mobilize the toxin, which can be later eliminated through a Shodhana procedure, such as Vamana, the vomiting, or Virechana. It's medicated ghee, so we use different ghees, and you will not have breakfast early in the morning, just after sunrise. We give you ghee to drink over a few consecutive days. Other treatments can involve Shirodhara treatment. Dr. Vido has showed us a beautiful video, wonderful for the endocrine system, but also for the nervous system. Potali Pindasveda, different types of potali we prepare, wonderful for your muscular skeletal system. Svedana, which is a sudation therapy. This will help to loosen the toxins and move the toxins into the koshta, which is the digestive tract, where they can later be eliminated. Svedana is also wonderful for musculoskeletal system and for vata imbalance. So also Nasya and Dhumapala, this is in Gurukulam in Tamil Nadu, where I prepared Dhumavarti, which is done as herbal smoke inhalation after Nasya. And you can see Nasya, which is the Gokaram, where we instill oil into the nostril. This is a wonderful treatment this time of the year. If you suffer from sinusitis or allergies, Nasya can give very, very good result. This is Akshitarpana, which can rejuvenate the eyes. But in order to practice here in Australia, and Dr. Shobachi mentioned she wrote books about Vaishajya Kalpana, also a great interest of mine. I can't wait to get a book of yours. We need a dravya. A dravya is a substance. The substance has a guna, an action, and the guna produces a karma. So we want to produce an action, we want to treat disease. We need dravyas, we need Ayurvedic herbs, Ayurvedic medicines, Ayurvedic oils. And the good thing is Ayurveda everywhere here in Australia. We can look around and see what is available. And please look locally, it's wonderful to see what grows here. We've got castor oil leaf, we can grow ashwagandha, we can grow arakvadia, cassia fistula, or the golden shower tree, which is wonderful for psoriasis and producing virechana, brahmi, gotokola. Many herbs and spices grow here. And this is important as this is our land here, the desha, our habitat. So look what's available locally. And a big passion of mine, I love Bhaishya Kalpana, and I prepare Ayurvedic classical medicines from scratch with locally sourced or homegrown Ayurvedic herbs. This is Dhumavati preparation, which is the herbal smoke inhalation, great for sinusitis. Here you can see in our kitchen, at the Lakshmi kitchen, we always have big pots on the stove to do Sneha Kalpana. We make many classical Ayurvedic oils, Vati or Gulikams, Ayurvedic herbal pills, and Avaleha Kalpana, which is the Ayurvedic gem preparation. And here you can see, and I think Madhu, she might have left already here because she gifted me all that Brahmi. The Brahmi available here in Australia. It was a lot of work. We washed the Brahmi and processed it in a certain way to make Brahmi Amla hair oil. And many things what you can make yourself. For example, you can be creative, start preparing things. Shata Dauta Krita, which is 100 times processed ghee. Easy, it's time consuming, but it's easy to make, which is very suitable to have in your first aid kit. You can use for burns, but it can also be used in ulcer, in hemorrhoid treatments, or for dry skin. So Shata Dauta Krita is wonderful preparation. Many other oils are passion of mine, Kshirabala Thailam, Dashamula Thailam, Pinda Thailam, Yashtimaduka Brahmi, Kaupavadi, all of those oils, we can make those here in Australia. And also we make Avaleha Kalpana, which is, I'm sure all of you heard of Javanaprash, so we make different formulations, and this was such great during the COVID time. So many people benefited from Amalaki Vasayana, Buddha Altraka, Ginger Gem, but also Ashwagandha Leham and Nayopayam Leham, one of my guru's favorite formulation, benefits so many people for digestive complaints. So here, Avaleha Kalpana with Amalaki, Vati Kalpana, herbal pill preparation during the COVID time or flu season. So many people suffer with sore throats. Eladi Vati, an Ayurvedic sore throat tablet, easy to make. And now I want to conclude bringing Ayurveda back to Ayurveda every day. So it is really important to have Ayurveda in your life daily. Follow Dinacharya, a daily routine. Let Ayurveda be in your life every day. It can significantly slow down your aging and promote health. Dinacharya practices, such as getting up at Brahma Muhurtam, take time for a prayer, take time for meditation, take time for pranayama, clean your tongue, do yoga practices, and use some Ayurvedic essentials. So tongue cleaner, but also tooth powders, mouth rinse, do self-massage, do abhyanga at home, use bath powders or do hair packs. And Vido, it inspired me, said if you don't feel good, you look for a nice dress or feel good. So Ayurveda makes you feel good if you look after your sharira, which is your physical body. Body-mind is interlinked, Nirsha said that. So if we feel good physically, we can feel well emotionally. Then this is actually an older picture from the Lakshmi team, and I love also many people are here from Lakshmi, and I love all of the team members, and it really shows how Ayurveda unites and how Ayurveda is globally. Our team at Lakshmi, we are from the USA, from India, from Scotland, Germany, Brazil, Italy, France, Czech Republic, New Zealand, Croatia, and Japan. We are like the United Nations, and it really shows how Ayurveda is kind of, growing globally. Hardin Hargar Ayurveda. And another few pictures to the top left, a conference in Albuquerque, New Mexico, with Dr. Vasantlat. Then in the middle you've got my dad. He comes regularly for treatment for ankylosing spondylitis. Unfortunately, our hair oil doesn't work for him, but the rest does. I've got mum in the steam box for Svedana, and I always find that quite amazing. I'm from a farming background in Germany, from Bavaria. So it's quite unusual for my parents initially, what are you doing? What are you doing in India? What are you studying? And it really has changed the life of my whole family. I've got a huge family genetics of arthritis in the family, and most of my family members are off their medication due to Ayurveda. So Hardin Hargar Ayurveda, it warms my heart seeing the growth of Ayurveda, and regardless where you're from and what your background is, Ayurveda will be beneficial for you. And I always thank to all the gurus, all the teachers, all the Vaidyas, all the bishops, the dedicated Ayurvedic teachers spreading the knowledge of Ayurveda. So thank you for inviting me to celebrate Ayurveda Day here in Perth, and thanks to the Indian General Consulate. Thank you, Namaskaram.